Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It is me, the Review Master 19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Forces of Valor's 1/32 scale Sturmtiger. There's a few videos on this, but I believe I'm one of the first people to be UK based. I know the YouTuber Spartan606 is. Really good YouTuber, check him out. I may link him in the description. But yeah, so this is the Sturmtiger by Forces of Valor. And before we take a look at the model, I want to show you the box, because the box is a behemoth. By the way, before I start the video, disclaimer, there are missing parts in this vehicle. There are missing parts. The reason why is I got this off eBay, or my parents did. I got this for my 17th birthday. Yeah, believe it or not. And, yeah, I got it a few years ago. And they've made a new version, which has the different barrel, but yeah, and more gas vents. But yeah, let's take a look at the box. But yeah, there are missing parts because I got this off eBay. Now the box is massive. It says Forces of Valor, Armoured Fighting Vehicle series, Inside Out series. They don't really usually do interiors and such, but yeah. And, oh look, oh my gosh, it's a face reveal. Hello, can't really see what I look like in real life. But yeah, you can see the 1/32 scale thing there, and you've got nice, I love the way the box is designed. The side, it's just Forces of Valor. The back's where the interesting stuff happens. Because you've got all these cool things, you've got rotatable ammunition lifting hand crane, movable gun barrel. I should point out, realistic firing lines inside the gun barrel. They're not firing lines or rifling lines. These are actually the gas vents from when they fired the thing. So, Forces of Valor. Bit inaccurate there. But yeah, they are rifling lines, but gas vents is the correct term for it. Ammunition rounds. I'm just going to say this, guys. The Germans were crazy in World War II. This was based off a Tiger 1 chassis. You'll see why in a minute when I review the model. And what they did is they just got a massive naval gun, a 380mm Lackenwerfer, and stuck it on a tank. Or an assault mortar, as it's called. So the name for it, on the box, you get this little sleeve, is German Sturmtiger. 6064 MIP 38cm RW61L 30.5 prototype presentation to Führer, Ares Proving Ground, East Prussia, October 20th, 1943. Full interior details, die-cast metal, it's very heavy. What more do you want? By the way, there's some, if I can zoom in, feel free to pause the video if you want to read that. But yeah, you got some nice pictures. Not much is known on this vehicle, apart from War Thunder. And yes, this is the number of the model. So, apart from the model, before we get into it, you get this tiny little baggie, which includes your instructions, which we're not even going to take a look at, but includes this. Really premium quality Forces of Valor. I love the way they do this. It includes a credit card. No, it includes this really cool card. And it feels like a credit card, guys. It's not plastic, it's not paper, it's a proper card. And you can see just the detail that's been put into the card, and it's little data thing about the Sturmtiger. It's weapons data, secondary, ammunitions. It carried 14 rounds of 38cm ammunition. Yeah. And it had a crew of 5, because it's a Tiger chassis, but yeah. Right, now I'm gonna get the model out and we're gonna take a look at it. So, YouTube, please don't demonetize me, but they included these two figures. I don't know why, but I don't feel happy to own these two figures. We've got Albert Speer. Luckily, there's no swastika. I'm happy that they didn't do that. But yeah, really nice detail, nice weathering on the buttons there. Yeah. You can see how I'm a bit, you know. And then we've got the most hated man in the universe, Adolf Hitler himself. And yeah, it's you know what, let's just put the figures away and review the actual model, because that's what we're here for. But yeah, figures are a nice addition. I just wish they didn't include them. So, this is the Sturmtiger, and before you guys say, oh, can you show us the tracks moving? Another disclaimer, no, the tracks are stuck onto the model. So, the model is made of metal. The whole chassis here is made of metal. All the rest is this is metal, this is metal, this is all plastic, and the tracks are rubber. So you can see the detail up top. We've got the machine gun, which is nice. And it keeps falling out for some reason. Yeah, it keeps falling out, which is quite annoying. But yeah, and just stick it back in there. There we go. You can see the gas vents there, and if we look really deep inside, you can just see absolute darkness. 150 meters, 43 degrees. The thing about Forces of Valor is they are excellent at building models. I mean, it actually looks real. It looks like it's weathered in metal, which it is. Got a little headlamp here, and they're slit, German ones, and then you got the bolts. 150 meters of frontal armor. Not even a Sherman can crack it. Turning around to the side of the Sturmtiger, unfortunately, some of the paint is shown through, but it's all metal, so it makes it even more damaged. Look damaged. Love the weathering on the road wheels. They're actually rubber, believe it or not, and they do move, and there is suspension. I'll just show you that it moves. And that thing you heard inside was probably one of the rounds, because they're all loose. So yeah, we can see the top hatch. This is where all the magic happens. Oh yeah, the features are the gun elevates and depresses. Really nice on a ball mount there. And if you look really closely, this is where the driver could see out of, and the gunner, I believe. You've got a gas ventilator here, because when they fired the thing, it was a 380mm Rackenwerfer. You're firing a battleship shell, basically. And when they did that, yeah, all hell broke loose. So there's no periscopes on here. And you can see there are a few hatches here. You've got the commander's hatch, which opens, and you can see the detail there. And if I just show you, you can start to see some of the interior inside. Oh, and is that a shell? I think it is. Then there's this, and how the Sturmtiger work. Oh yeah, the crane handle's missing because I got this off eBay used, and you'll see why in a minute. So the crane moves. They've moved the crane. A guy would actually get out of this tiny little hatch like that, which is an escape hatch, and people think this is where you load the shell in. One, you could fit a shell in here, but two, why would they push a shell here? I can see why, because of the, cracks there. This is the escape hatch if they needed to get out in a hurry. And what they would do is they would winch the crane, get around, open this little door hatch, remove the heavy plate, winch the round in, and they would put the, if I can show you real quick, they would actually put the round on this thing, tighten it, and then put it in the breech here. And this is where things get really cool on the model. But yeah, the hatches are really cool, and you can close it just like the real thing. It's all plastic. And I love that they've just painted it white as well for the other side. Proper premium quality for Forces of Valor. Love it a lot. So we're now going to take a look on the engine deck. And the engine deck's really well detailed. You can see the fuel filters. And these are actually rubber. And yes, the engine deck does open. But you want to be careful because it's plastic. And you can see the Maybach HL230 engine in there. Really nice detail. And you can also start to see some of the vent covers which move as well. You can see these two mud flaps. The inertia starter. That's where you would plug this in. There's a tow hook there, more tow hooks. There's a box. There's no jacker box on here. And for tank terms, that's basically a thing that they use to, These two hooks here is when they would be transporting the tank and lifting it. Speaking of which, let's have a look at the interior. So taking the interior off now, and you can start to see, yeah, it's cool. But I wish it would have more detail, but this is how the Sturmtiger looks. So before we take a look at the thing, let's take a look at this. I'm going to have to remove a few hatches here to stop them from falling. But yeah, you can see the engine deck there. Start to see some of that really nice weathering detail, and you can just see how small the Sturmtiger was. You had a crew of 5 in here. So you've got the machine gun port and the breech, and honestly, this is the coolest feature in the model. The breech actually opens. And you can get the 380mm Rackenswerfer rounds. And you can actually place them into the breech. Look, how cool is that? And when you've got the round in the breech, that's what it looks like. And then you can eject it out as well. And then you can just close the breech cover like so, which is really nice. I love that they've done that. So this whole bit's metal. Oh yeah, I also forgot to show you, you can remove this panel as well, which we should have done before, so you can gain a quick look at the inside. So let's have a look at the proper interior now. It comes with 8 of these 380mm shells, and this is the charge head. And this bit they would fire, the shell, I don't know, they'd fire the whole thing, because it's a shell. So you have the transmission and the driver's stick. I really wish they'd have given more detail for the driving, you know, stick rather than just painting it black. The radio's better detailed than this, but I love the weathered wash, and I just love the rust as well on the bottom. But yeah, you can see the torsion bar suspension if you turn the model over. And if we look really deep inside, you can see 2 seats, the driver, and then this little thing here is the gunner's seat. And if you look really down deep in there, you can start to see some of the torsion bars. So the real cool thing about the model that we're all here for is the shells. So it can hold 8 of these. And you've got this rack here. And what this basically does is when this Sturmtiger is loaded, I'm going to zoom out so you can see a bit better, they would put the round on the crane. They just put it like that and they tighten it, and then it can go in. You can actually push the round into the breech, but I wouldn't recommend it because it's very fragile. And there are a few little ones that have these little notches on to try and get them in, but it doesn't always work. Another real cool detail is the engine. Now you can take the engine out, and how we do that is you just wiggle it, boom. So this is the engine. My gosh, it's detailed. You can see the engine block, and you can display this out. It's plastic. First I thought it was metal, but it's actually plastic. These are rubber, by the way, I think. Really nice detail. And then to put it back in, you just do that. And then if you wanted to look at the radiator covers, you just have to do that. And you can see the radiator covers and the ventilators and the fans and cooling things, and yeah. So the model itself is armed with 1 MG34. That's it. That's all the defensive armament it had is 1 MG34 in the front plate. And when you put the front plate back on, you just click it in, make sure it's nice and cozy at the bottom, and you can see how the rounds go in. And but yeah, it's a really cool model. I love it a lot. And you could get some nylon or string or something and, you know, detail it up. But yeah, really cool model. Love it. The Sturmtiger by Forces of Valor. It's one of my second models by Forces of Valor, and by far probably one of the best ones. I maybe will get the other Sturmtiger one day. But apart from that, guys, that's the Sturmtiger by Forces of Valor. So, another quick thing before we end the review is there is only one surviving example of this, I believe, in the world. I'm not sure, I think. Oh yeah, by the way, there's only one way the hatch can go. But yeah, really cool. And the hatch, the little escape hatch, you can fit the rounds in if you really wanted to, but I don't see why you would. So I'm going to show you what it now looks like with it loaded in the breech, and we'll end the video. Okay, so with all the hatches closed, you can now see the 318mm Racketwerfer loaded with the shell. And if I actually get some tweezers, there we go. And you pull out the round and make it look like it's firing the shell and whatnot, but yeah, really cool. So overall, guys, that's the Forces of Valor Sturmtiger. And before I end the video, just a quick tip here. If you do get the model and you want to display it, I usually keep it on the stand, but quick tip, you can also view the interior like that as well. Have the back panel, which is cool. And you can also, oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys. The quick tip also, I'm going to show you the quick tip in a minute when you get the model. And you can then lift up both the covers and you can see all the engine details and compartments. But yeah. So the quick tip I have for you is when you get the model, this plate here, which comes in separately, there are two little clips here. This one is snapped off, and that's because you push this in and then you push that in, and you have to be really careful. You have to push it in once and then push it gently. The person who had this previously didn't do that because it must have broken. Apart from that, if you would like the model, I'm sure there's a few on eBay. Your price range for a model you're talking new with box is probably 200 quid, 100. But yeah, that's the Forces of Valor Sturmtiger, guys. And here is a sneak peek for the other video, which we'll be working on, is a trebuchet. Let me know if you guys want to see more. Apart from that, take care.